How's it going, everybody? In today's Marvel Mystic Mayhem video, we're going to be going over the Fantastic Four event. That is, I guess, the celebration, right? It's the Fantastic Four patch, if you will, from Marvel Mystic Mayhem, as well as the Things kit. Yeah, more importantly, we got the Things kit, which we do have a back door to go check it out. And I gotta say, for a 2-star character, he's got a lot of promise. Kind of excited to unlock this character, and hopefully we all will, the way we all unlocked Human Torch. But let's talk about this event first. So we got 3 different sort of game modes. We had a brand new story that came with this, which I think is really cool. And if they do that every patch, that's great. My one critique is going to be that this boss, the Herald Strikes Back, the Herald, I guess, really dumb easy. Yeah, so there's an easy, there's a hard, and I guess maybe it's just dumb easy for me, right? Because I've been using gems to max out, level 70. I have 3-star characters, most of them with 1 Soul Saga upgrade, but I auto it, and I don't love that. But it's also the first month of the game, and I'm in a unique situation where I probably spent way too much money. So to me, it's easy. Maybe to other people, it's fun and competitive, and maybe I'll rewind all my characters tomorrow and see if I can beat it with a level 60 team, and that might make it more interesting. I'm sure we're going to see the Herald in Nightfall at some point. I don't think they would design a boss to just use like this, although I will say mechanically, this boss is very uninteresting compared to the Dragon and the Eye of Nightmare. I think they can elaborate on it, is all I'm trying to say. But I thought it was really cool that they brought a boss to celebrate, and obviously it is a monstrosity, right? We have the Circuit Challenge. I don't know what to say about this. I guess it's like a cool little mini game, I suppose. Listen, I have kids, so I got to deal with stuff like this all the time, kind of like little simple brain teasers. We got to get the Herby all the way over here. The Thing pushes. Mr. Fantastic stretches and grabs. Invisible Man can go through barriers that no one else can. So you got to kind of work things around. And Johnny Storm can blow up bricks, right? So you got to kind of use your head. We'll see if it gets a little bit more difficult, a little more challenging. But yeah, nice little cute thing, right? That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. If we get one of those every patch, that's kind of cool. It's not the reason I play a game like this, though. I want to use strategy on the characters we do have, so I'm hoping we do get some of that. And then we had a brand new story put in, right? We got 4 different chapters. One for Johnny Storm, where we fight a boss, Johnny, at the end. One for Sue, one for Reed, and one for Thing. All the different bosses have different mechanics, and we do not use our own characters for it, which was a more enjoyable experience for me because I didn't get to use my Thor, Invisible Woman, Captain America, whatever the heck I was going to use, right? Because then I would have beat it. No, we had to use Moon Girl, Devil Dino, Spider-Man, Sleepwalker. It's the first time I ever used Sleepwalker. And for this one, we got to use Johnny Storm, and it was a little bit more difficult. Johnny's was a little bit harder. Invisible Woman's was easy enough. What I thought was really cool is they actually introduced Valeria and Franklin Richards, which I think is really, really cool. We just got Franklin in Marvel Strike Force. Obviously not kid version. We got like young adult version. But this is cool because if you don't know, Franklin Richards is like a top 10, maybe top 20 powerful Marvel entity. And Valeria's right up there. Valeria may very well be the smartest person in Marvel, which is really cool in my opinion. We'll skip all that. But I did like the story. The missions were not super easy, so I found that was fun. And then we got the new patch pass, I guess you can call it, Herby's Log. This cost $10 American. I did get it. I'm not sure if it's worth it. It's not like the other pass we're getting a bunch of resources. We're kind of getting one of a bunch of things. It does look like we're just getting a copy of Thing. I don't think this is it's not a costume or anything. It's just the Thing. So we are all getting the Thing for free, which is really cool. And here's where we get to see this kit. So if you hit this magnifying glass, it actually brings you to Thing's kit. So let's take time to go through it, because I think that's pretty cool, right? Oh, first of all, he looks great. I don't know if this is supposed to be magma flowing in the cracks and everything. 10 out of 10 design. This is a really cool looking thing. Absolutely zero neck. He's all head and shoulders. That's fine with me. He's a rock after all. Let's go over his talents in his Soul Saga. Before we jump too much into talents, though, we're gonna jump back and forth with the Soul Saga. Rock solid. His passive. Obviously, I can't read this. But something 0.92%. If we go over to the Soul Saga and we go to Mind 3, it enhances Rock Solid, which is his passive, increases defense by an additional 0.4%. So something is increasing something is increasing defense on that passive by 0.9%. We're going to add 0.4 to it, so 1.3% for every 1% of HP loss. So the lower he gets on life, the more sturdy he gets, if you will. All right, let's take that knowledge and let's go over the rest of his kit. Starting with his first passive. When your team has one or two of the following: Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic, or Human Torch, the thing's attack and defense increases by 6 or 12% respectively. This is also in Invisible Women's kit. I don't love this because with only 3 members, I don't want to feel like I have to keep the Fantastic Four together. I'm testing Invisible Woman. I will have a video out on how good she is. I think she's the #1 support in the game. She kind of does the job of a tank and a support at once. It's crazy. I don't want to have to use her with Johnny and Thing. I've already gone over Thing's kit. It's cool. Johnny's kit, I'm less impressed by that. He's for lack of a better term, he's the poor man Storm. And because we all got Storm for free, because they're both special damage, Storm's better, even with like all of these Soul Sug upgrades. At least that's my opinion, and like from the brief testing I've done, I gotta dive more into his kit as well. But long story short, I don't want to be forced to use the Fantastic Four together in all situations. Let's check out the next passive. When your team has one or two of the following: Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic, or Human Torch, clobbering time repeats 1 or 2 times more respectively. Clobbering time is his ultimate. We'll go over that last. Leave it to say it's pretty cool, and the fact that it's going to repeat is great. His basic is dealing 51% of things attack as physical damage. It's important to look at those multipliers. Let's check out his 3-cost attack. So he's dealing 576% of things attack as physical damage to an adjacent enemy and knocks them back. If the target collides with other characters or obstacles, deal an additional 300% of things attack as physical damage to the target enemy and collided enemies stun for 3 seconds. So it sounds like it's, Hulk's big knockback, except if they land on allies, it'll stun them. I like that. I can see that being actually pretty cool in PvP. We'll see how far it launches them, the direction it launches them, because it is hexagons, it's not like straight lines. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll see how we can manipulate it when we're actually playing with it. But I like that idea. It sounds very skill-based. He's got a 2-cost buff ability, Yancey Street Rage. Love the name, by the way. Take 57% less damage and taunts all enemies for 8 seconds. That is a long taunt. That is a huge damage reduction. Absolutely huge damage reduction. We love that. And then there's his ultimate, Clobbering Time. Rolls towards the farthest enemy, dealing 480% of things defense. So he scales up defense on the ultimate as physical damage to all enemies along the path. Repeat 1 time. So the way this reads, he's going to roll to the furthest enemy. Does he hit that furthest enemy? I don't know. And then he rolls back. And all the enemies along the path, whether he rolls past the furthest enemy and then back, or rolls right to their feet and doesn't hit them and rolls back, I don't know. But it sounds like that's the case it's going to be. So let's look at scaling off defense. So he does get extra defense for being with Fantastic Four, and he does get defense. For every point of defense, he deals an additional damage here, right? And from his passive, Rock Solid, for every 1% of HP missing, he's going to get X amount of defense depending on what level you have that ability at. So I think that's really cool, and that's going to combine with his One More Time passive, where if he has 1 or 2 Fantastic Four allies, he'll repeat that. Now, I have some questions about this. Does he repeat it once? So does he go to the furthest enemy, back to where he was, and back to the furthest enemy? Or does, when he repeats it, is he repeating the entire ability? Is he going furthest, back? Because if we can make the thing roll to the enemy and stay there, and then he does his buff, where he taunts people, takes less damage, well, then we could use AoE like Iron Man or Thor, whatever the case may be, to really kind of wreck an AoE group. This would be awesome in PvP, especially because he's doing a knockback as well. So he could be really amazing at bringing the enemy away from your ranged characters and then holding them there. And I think that would be a really cool kit. But let's go over the Soul Saga. So we got some questions we still need answered. We already know what Mind 3 does. It's going to increase the amount of defense he gets for every 1% of HP loss. So let's go up the Mind Tree first. On 1, the Yancey Street Rage damage reduction lasts for 4 more seconds. So that's 57% damage reduction plus taunt for 12 seconds instead of 8 seconds. That's a big buff. And that's his first Mind upgrade. Mind 2 takes up 8% less damage. He's a tank. He's taunting. We want to take less damage. All right, Heart 1 coming through. That's his knockback. Deals 50% more damage to bosses. That makes sense. He's not going to be knocking bosses all over the place, right? So for that to do 50% more damage to them, I think is good. Makes sense to me. Heart 2, defense increases by 20%. This is actually going to help scale his damage, right? He gets extra damage for every 200 defense he has, and then his ultimate actually literally scales off damage. And then we have Heart 3. Allied Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic, and Human Torch attack increases by 10%. So now this guy has 3 different instances of synergy with the Fantastic Four members. He's definitely going to want to be with them, but here's my worry. I really don't want to put Invisible Woman with Thing. If I can make a team with Johnny, Thing, and Reed, great, right? Like, I don't understand how Reed's going to come in and out-damage Thor or Iron Man or out-tank Captain America. Like, Thing is the tank of the team anyway. I don't know what Reed's going to do. I can't see him coming in and being the best character in the game. So with him, Thing, and Johnny together, I can live with that. I hope my Invisible Woman gets to stay my Invisible Woman, going all around the world, just wrecking face with the amount of shielding and with the amount of damage she gives out. She's so good. Video on that soon. His main Soul Saga upgrade, Yancey Street Rage, additionally reduces damage taken by other allies. His 2-cost ability that reduces damage taken by 57% at level 7 will apply to all allies. I just talked about I don't want to put Invisible Woman here, but picture this. Invisible Woman's opening shield with the damage reduction, you're just never going to take any damage. That would be incredible for PvP. But that's Thing's kit. I'm pretty excited about him. I'm glad that we are all getting him for free in Herby's log. I will also be pulling for Mr. Fantastic, so hopefully I'll get additional copies of him and get to play around with him. I'll go up the mine side first, looking at that kit. But I'm also interested in knowing what you guys think about this patch. How do you feel about all the content they put in? Do you wish it scaled further, or am I alone in that boat? How did you think about Thing's kit? Are you excited for Thing? I can't wait to see Reed's kit. I can't wait! Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow's video is a special one, because we basically did like an interview with Mark Teasy, who's another Marvel Mystic Mayhem creator, and we got his thoughts on the game, what he's been doing since launch, how he's enjoying the game, what he would like to come to the game, and I think that's going to be one you're not going to want to miss as well. Alright guys, from me to you, take care, have yourselves a wonderful day, bye-bye.